make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race.
Look at Mickey's face.
People dying. If you care enough to live there in a better world.
There's two
for
of them.
you and for me.
Miggy, is that our opening?
I think that's our opening right there. Yeah, great way to start it off.
Feed the world.
Introduce our guest, Miggy. We got some superstars here.
We got some superstars.
Man,
We've
it's
got
fought around the whole
Thor
world.
and his student, Dany Labastida.
Hello, boys.
Hey guys, welcome to the Old and New Money podcast, representing Up Next Fighting. Here we go. Take it away.
We're good?
Yeah.
That was our intro?
Dude, I mean, I thought that was a beautiful intro right there.
Okay, no, that's good. Well, thank you, Thor.
Welcome.
Thor and Dany, thank you for being here at the Up Next Fighting Studio. We are Old and New Money podcast. On my left, we have Miggy. We have our Viking, also named Steven. Hey, Thor and the Viking. We got Thor and the Viking. We got the young pup right here, the young killer, Dany. Don't let the face fool you. Looks like a very nice man, but he is a killer.
He's not a very nice man.
Not a very nice man, and I am able. So here, we've been hearing a lot of great stuff about you, Thor. We've been talking a little bit outside about the community service that you do, about your young men that you're training, just in general. So what makes you such a special man that you've been able to fight all over the world in so many different organizations? Talk about that. Why are you a chosen man to represent so many organizations around the world?
I didn't have a whole lot of other options, man. Like, getting punched in the face. You got to kind of be a special kind of person to do that. You got to be wired a little different. If I was a better singer or dancer, I mean, you heard my voice, not the best. Probably would have been like a rock star.
I enjoyed it.
But yeah, dude, it's, I love fighting.
You can tell. You got the body for it.
But it's a hard way to make a living. It's a hard way to get in shape. It's a hard way. It's the hard way. When they say we do this the easy way or the hard way, they're normally talking about catching an ass whooping.
And you chose the hard way.
Yeah.
What made you choose the hard way? Because not everyone chooses the hard way. Like all of us here enjoy martial arts, right? But you chose this as a career. Since what age did you decide, I'm going to fight for a living?
My first fight was at 23 years old. I started fighting before there were amateur fights. My first fight was in Costa Rica for $300 inside of a shopping mall.
Nice.
And
wait. You can't just fucking skip over that quick, bro. You say like Costa Rica, $300. Oh, and then no.
Like, was it next to the food court?
$300,
no,
right?
Did you win?
No, I lost.
Win or lose, $300, right?
Yeah,
so he won.
I got a free trip to Costa Rica.
Boom.
An ass whooping and $300. But
was this that Bulldog?
No, it was called CR Fights.
CR Fights, okay.
Yeah, Costa Rica.
Were you ever invited to Bulldog fighting?
No.
Because that was our era.
No, they never invited me.
Okay. So talk about that. Costa Rica, you fought on the beach or in the mall?
Yeah, it was in actually the parking garage. They have those parking garages.
Okay.
And they set it up with it was a ring, not a cage. And I went out there and I fought a Costa Rican Tito Ortiz.
Oh, shit.
And Alejandro Villalobos.
Alejandro Villalobos, we want a rematch, son.
Yeah, if you're out there, brother.
Fuck yeah.
I'm 40, but I'm the future of professional sports.
There you go, bro. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm 47. I am not the future. He is. What's his name again?
Alejandro Villalobos.
I wonder if we can find that guy, Miggy.
House
you can
of
find
Wolves.
Alejandro Villalobos.
Alejandro Villalobos. Let's see if we can find that guy.
Yeah.
Get a rematch.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get Up Next Fighting to bring him out.
Yeah.
In the same parking garage.
Bro, imagine that fight. Imagine that, Ryan. Bro, let's look up that guy and get him beat up.
Yeah, that
he's in enemy territory now when he comes out here.
Yeah, that would be sick. I'd fight that guy. That would
there you go. So your first fight, Costa Rica, in the mall. How did you lose that fight?
So let me back up a little bit. I
Please.
didn't really know how to fight that well at that time. I was training, and one of my boys was online and he's like, "Hey, you do that mixed martial arts stuff?" I'm like, yeah. And he's like, "Dude, I can get you a flight to Costa Rica and you can fight some Costa Rican guy." And I'm like,
This already sounds sketchy.
Right? I'm laughing. I'm like, bro, finish the story. Finish the story. I'm gonna laugh my ass off.
But you have both your kidneys, right? just to check.
like I said, I don't make the best decisions. That's why, I fought for so many different organizations. But yeah, took the flight, bought the ticket, took the ride, went out to Costa Rica, went to the shopping garage, and we had our fight. And I got taken down and pounded in the first round. And then after that, I was like, I need to really train.
Yeah.
came back to the United States, and then I won my next fight.
Okay.
I trained hard and actually made a career out of it.
Where were you training out of here in the United States? In California the whole time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
In what city? What gym? Who was your
It's called Tarzana Boxing.
Tarzana Boxing.
Yeah, Tarzana Boxing.
You're still there though, right?
No, that place is closed down. I was there for 15 years.
Okay.
Actually, that's how I met the Buckners.
Okay.
And it was a good time. I was a cardio boxing instructor.
Mm-hmm.
And it was great. It was a great experience. Wouldn't trade it for the world, but it kind of like that loss, like I said, like when I first started fighting, there was no amateurs. You amateur kids don't know how good
lucky
you
are. How lucky you are.
Because when you lose, it's like you're just cultivating data. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, next time I'm going to do this. This is what I have to work on. It doesn't go on your record, Yeah.
And they stop the fights really fast. As soon as you're in a little bit of danger, in amateurs, they stop the fights.
Yeah, they
want to save you for the pros.
Absolutely. Yeah, but when you go pro, like that's it. You better know your shit. So like in the beginning of my career, I had a few losses that I wish I could get back. And then when I figured it out, that's when I kind of took
This
off.
was 2004, 2005 when you took that loss in Costa Rica?
2008.
2008. Well, my math is off. Okay.
Yeah, 2000.
So 2008, you took that loss. You came back. You fought another fight.
No. Sorry. 2006.
2006. Okay. So when you came back, you trained for how many months? And then you got back in the ring and you beat.
I trained for 3 months. I'm really bad with dates and stuff.
Just make it up.
But I'll say 3 months, whatever. But I trained hard. I had a training camp. Actually focused on jujitsu. Okay. So like I actually went to Moore Park College and I worked with the wrestling team. So I learned how to stop takedowns because that's how I got beat. I was out there. I tried to hit him with a jab and he just wanted to
You had a boxing stance.
Took me down.
Hips. Okay.
Beat the shit out of me. And then, my next fight, I basically was the wrestler. You know what I mean? I came out there, just totally took the guy down. So I changed my game up, learned the ground. Like you got to know everything. Mixed martial arts is one of those sports where like you could be bad at one thing and still win.
Correct.
Right? If you have the right matchup.
Correct.
So, it's like a matchup based game. The guy I fought the second time was a Muay Thai guy.
Okay.
And then I trained really hard on my wrestling and then I used that and the rest is history.
Okay. So after you took that fight, after you won that fight, how confident were you to be able to say, you know what, I want to turn this into a career?
I'm going to tell you another thing. I want to tell you another thing. I'm poor as shit. So like, this is old money. Which one's old money?
What do you think, dog?
Okay. And then new money, I'm no money. You know what I mean? So like when I fucking, so I would fight, literally, I would start fighting for fucking, I was like, my rent is up. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, so I got to 15 minutes worth. I thought about it in my head, like, okay, 15-minute fight, $600. Like, let's go, back in those days, you weren't getting paid a whole lot. Like again, fucking kids fighting now, like you get paid a lot better than I did when I first started fighting. But so I was hungry, so I had to fight. I'm a prize fighter. Like the word martial artist gets thrown around. Mm-hmm. I do the martial arts, but I'm a prize fighter. Correct. First. Like that's how I made a living. I do all other kinds of jobs too. I'd be training people, different little odd jobs, but fighting is a good way to add to my income.
And people don't understand that. That's how it was when you first started doing martial arts. Back in the days, you had to do all kinds of jobs, train martial arts like a pro, work 40, 50, 60 hours. And then that was a life.
Yeah.
People don't know how good they got it now.
Yeah.
To be able to be decent and be able to fight professionally and get paid.
Oh yeah.
Compared to back then, bro.
You get it. Your sponsor you got a t-shirt. I'm sponsored. I'm a sponsored fighter.
Here's $50.
Here's a shirt, brother.
And $50.
Here's some protein powder, bro.
Yep. That was it right there.
Yeah.
And so when did you really get into the big fights? What was your first big organization when you got into?
Oh man.
And how did you pull that one off?
So I don't know. So big fights. It depends what you consider big, but
in your mind at that time.
Yeah. So I started selling tickets.
Okay.
So like when I first started fighting, I didn't want nobody to know. I was just like, it's something I would do, make some money, like here and there.
Why didn't you want anybody to know? Were you embarrassed?
It's just extra pressure. Okay. I didn't care. I just went to go make some money, and I thought it was just a hassle. Like promoter tells you like, hey man, sell these tickets. And I'm like, man, fuck you. I'm going to go fight anyway. Like, why do I need to sell tickets for you? Okay. Like, and then like,
what did they tell you back then?
What?
Why do you need to sell tickets? What did they tell you?
You get percentage.
Okay.
You get a little bit of percentage, so you sell some tickets. Like I get like back in the day, like 10% or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then what started happening is like, I started getting like a following, when Well, I'll tell. Okay, let me backtrack a little bit. So,
Okay.
like I said, I went to go wrestle with Moore Park a little bit. Didn't wrestle with the team. I wrestled
Just practice.
with the practice team, right?
Okay.
And then my wrestling got pretty good, and I would just like go out there and kind of ground and pound, lay and pray my way to a decision, like hopefully not take too much damage and get my paycheck and fucking go on my happy way, you know? And then like I had this fight, I swear to God. So you know when Anderson Silva front kicked fucking
And who did you kick?
no.
Vitor.
Belfort broke his jaw.
Vitor Belfort.
I did that before he did it. It was called Long Beach Fight Night.
Are you calling him out?
No, I'm just saying
I'm
this.
just kidding. I'm
Speaking
just kidding.
facts here, you know what I mean? Like he's a legend, but I did that first. Same kick, boom, smashed this guy's jaw in 3 places.
Ouch.
And then Larry Landless goes like this to me. And then he's like, okay, go. And I'm like, fuck it. I think you were there for that fight. And I smashed this guy's jaw, dude. And everyone jumped up and was going crazy. And then I fucking jump on top of him after the guy did the little pause thing. I thought the fight was over. And he's like, no, he's still good. I'm like, okay. And then the guy ended up like actually submitting me. And I was like,
Oh shit.
fuck, dude. This is like the worst thing that can happen, you know? But
What do you mean? Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
So you were in the middle of a fight. You kicked him in the face. You dropped him and you said, stop?
He said, stop.
That should have been the end of the fight, right?
Everyone was like, cause it came out of nowhere, like smash. It was like the first round was like back and forth. We're like kind of grappling each other. Second round, out of nowhere, I just hit him. Bop! And like a quiet arena, you just hear it go, Chah! Everyone's like, what the fuck? This guy dropped like a sack of potatoes. Larry like seemed like he's not the best ref, dude. I'm sorry, Larry. Like you're not reffing anymore.
That is fucking wild.
But he stopped me, right?
Okay.
And then he goes, okay, go. And then like this guy was a badass on the ground. Like he's fucking badass on the ground from Bakersfield Jiu-Jitsu. I'm trying to remember the guy's name right now, but anyway, I'll get back to that.
So you jump on him.
I jump on him. The guy like fucking scissor sweeps me. I get like kind of caught up in the ropes because we were fighting in the ring.
In the ring, yes.
Fucking catches me in a rear naked with like fucking 30 seconds left and taps me out, bro. And I'm like it was like the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, like the OC fucking newspaper comes out and it's a picture of me kicking this fool in his face off, you know?
Yeah.
And then everyone's talking about me. They're like, fuck, did you see what Thor did? And then something changed, you know, hearing the crowd and then fucking experiencing that feeling where I'm like, I don't care if I win or lose. Cause I was already like on a losing streak. I was like, I'm going to fucking go out there and try to knock everybody out.
Okay.
And then I went on like a crazy streak where I was like taking people's heads off in like fucking 6-fight win streak, knockouts in the first round. I was just sleeping everybody, fucking breaking their faces, you know?
How many fights straight?
Like we went on like a 6-fight win streak. I was with Chris Buckner. That was, you know,
You went game bread on everyone.
Yeah.
You know, when Game Bread came back from that whatever that game show was, and he was in the mountains on Amazon, and he came back and he started just ripping everyone's heads off.
Bro, I just decided just tuck my chin and just run in, just smashing with haymakers and overhands, and I was good at it. Yeah, I mean,
technique is good.
Yeah, if you
breaking people's faces better.
Yeah, you look at my highlight reel. You know, I was taking people's heads off, and then all of a sudden, I got approached by King of the Cage, and they're like, "We want you to fight for our belt." So I won like 6 straight. Fought for King of the Cage. I won that belt in 9 seconds.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I won that belt in 9 seconds.
You got that highlighted too?
Yep. Yeah, I fought Chris Kirtley, knocked him out in 9 seconds. It was a crazy fight. We both were bleeding. We both needed stitches in 9 seconds. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I recommend you look at that fight.
Cristobal, we got to throw that up in our highlights right there. My goodness.
And, you know, so but that built my following, and that, like, you know, I started realizing getting closer to the end of my career.
What year was that? What year was that? King of the Cage?
2016.
Okay.
Right.
And that was in Reno, right?
No. That was at the what's it called? The Ontario Convention Center or whatever. No, Ontario, the Citizen Bank Arena in Ontario. Yeah. So yeah, knocked the dude out. And this one, like, you know, I also was starting to sell a lot of tickets. So promoters were loving me and they were giving me good matchups. And, you know, they were like, this guy's got an exciting style. And I started realizing, like, this word starts coming up, legacy. You know, like, what do you want to be remembered for? Like, legacy is something they can't take from you.
Correct.
You know, like when I fought for Bellator, you know, I fought at the Forum. Like, I can drive by that Forum anytime and be like, I got a W right there.
Dang.
Choke the guy out in the first round. You know, no one could ever take that from me.
Of course.
You know? My grandkids could be like, oh, if the place is still open, like, look what Pop did.
Yeah.
You know?
Grandpa strangled him on the
Yeah.
right there.
So, I mean, I was actually
his fucking soul.
I was talking to my kids today in the fight team, you know, and I was like, what is your motivation? Right? Because the money is good.
Were you in this conversation?
Yeah, Danny's laughing.
Well, let's see what he says. Let's see what Dany says. Say that, and then Danny's next.
Because Dany was right there, and we Rage. Shout out to Rage. He's another coach at the gym. He called me
like
over.
the head coach.
Yeah, he called me over and was like, "Hey, can you tell them what we were talking about?" And I guess he wanted me to talk about some technique that I was wanting to show him, but I just started talking about legacy, and everyone's like, fuck, dude. Because I was like, all right, what is your motivation? And like one guy's like, yeah, I want to make some money. I was like, okay, you can make money doing fucking anything, and it's a lot easier. You're not getting punched in the face. When you get to be like my last fight was for Bellator. I was 35 years old. And I was like, you know, fighting is something that I thought was going to be there forever. I never thought it would go anywhere. And then you get to a point where you're like, okay, I'm not going to be able to do this forever. Yeah. Then you start thinking, well, now it's about the legacy. What you're known for as a fighter, what you did with your platform, what you're going to continue to do. And then shit gets real. So then I started telling the kids, I'm like, you know, I call them my kids, they're fucking 28, 30, fucking 64. It doesn't matter, you know. But, you know, I tell them, I say, look, you know, legacy, right? That should be what gets you up in the morning. That should be what makes you run those extra miles. That should be what gets you to train super hard. Right? Because if you're doing it for, you know, like me, like I'm happy with my career, but, you know, I'll tell you, I didn't give 100%, you know, like when I was done with a fight camp, I was just fucking drinking and partying and letting myself get out of shape. And I'm like, it's a short time, right? It's a short time you're alive, and it's a shorter time that you can actually do the things that you want to do. A man dies a few times in his life, you know, and one time is when you can no longer excel at your passion, right? And I think us as fighters, I think we're more realistic about the mortality at like an earlier age than guys that just fucking work behind a desk.
See what you're saying right now? I think a lot of the young fighters need to understand they got a short window, right?
Exactly.
And when it's over, it's over.
Yep.
And so we got to enjoy that. You young bucks need to enjoy this because you're living in your prime, right? There's different types of primes. Like I think I'm in my prime for a different reason, right? Steven, you're in the prime for a different reason. Miggy's getting into his prime. This young buck's getting into his prime. You're getting into your prime as a coach.
Exactly.
You're about to get really good at this shit.
Different seasons.
Correct. Different seasons for everyone. But once this season's gone for you young bucks, it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
But what he's saying is how to be able to maximize where you're at right now. Sorry, Thor, keep going.
Yeah,
brother.
but I mean, like, you can't spend what Muhammad Ali has, right? You know, like, okay, they made money, that's great, but what he has is a legacy, and you can't spend that. And it's something that he could pass down to his whole family. It's pride for the rest of their generations because they were related to that one person because he had the right legacy.
Danny, what do you think about that? The conversation you had with you yesterday
about legacy.
Yeah.
I don't think I could put it into words any better than Thor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did that feel when you were listening to him speak to you? How did your heart feel? How was your mindset during that conversation?
Inspired.
Inspired.
Yeah. In a good way.
Like when he's talking about also not wasting your time. Not wasting your time. What I got to do better, what I got to take away in your mind. Like playing maybe, I don't know, I'm just going to throw it out there. Video games or all these hot girls are chasing you because you're fucking nice little piece of meat for these women. You know, what do you got to take away? What do you got to get rid of as far as distractions? What would you change right now from this conversation with you that you had today? What do you think you got to eliminate to get better?
My bad habits.
What is that? Give me 2 bad habits you would change.
He doesn't want to say.
Yeah.
The rules watching. What are you going to change right now to become a better fighter? This is what this is for, right, Thor?
Yeah, he can't be prosecuted, can he, for divulging anything?
What bad habits do you have, bro?
Well, you have a different type of gym,
Yeah. Hey, it doesn't happen inside the gym, but you know what happens in the parking lot is
it's different.
so different.
They're probably not any worse than anybody else's habits. You know, everyone has bad habits.
So what are 2 things that you think you need to change? What are 2 things that you think you need to change so you become a better fighter?
My time management, you know, I'm always like 5 minutes late to everything.
Oh, this guy too. We were doing color commentary for a boxing match 2 weeks ago. He showed up at the second fight. It was like,
you should work for Camo.
There you go. The going crazy. So time management mean you suffer from it. What's number 2? Video games.
I guess partying.
Right? Partying? Okay.
Yeah, drinking and smoking.
Okay.
You know,
Party animal.
and I want to be a role model for the next generation. You know, I want to be someone that kids can look at and be like, I want to be like him. You know, as cool as it would be to be like John Jones and be badass and go into your fights like hungover and off coke.
Yeah.
And,
That would be badass. It
yeah,
would be
and then win your fights. That'd be so sick. But you know,
it would be sick.
like he can't.
I agree.
He can't look at his children and be like, "Yes, do what I did." If he has children,
I think
he's got
does.
like 3 or 4 or 5 with that, something like that. But true, those are 2 things. Those are 2 things that you know you need to change: time management and partying. Hey,
Yeah.
But it's like Thor saying, you know, he's looking back at when he was a pro fighter, and you said yourself, did I really give 100%? And, you know, now you're in a season of your life as a coach. Are you reflecting on those lessons so you give 100% of yourself as a coach now? Like, what did you learn as a fighter so that now you cannot make that same type of mistake?
Yeah. I believe I do, you know, and I really love what I do, and I'm completely blessed by God, you know, to do what I do. But it almost doesn't feel like work, even though I'm not lying. I'm dead tired right now. I'm here, you know, like I just spent I've been at work since 9 a.m. straight up, just, you know, working with people. And like, I know there's harder jobs out there. At least I get to do
what you love doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
A dream job, you know?
But yeah, I try to give 100% to my my community, my friends, my family. I try to be the best Christian I can be. I try to be the best husband I can be. I try to be the best friend I can be. I try to be the best coach I can be. And these are all lessons that I took from fighting, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy how like you take something that, you know, has such a negative connotation when used in the wrong context, and it's such a positive thing.
Correct.
When it's applied properly.
Thor, I'm curious, how did you find Dany?
Man,
Carson.
he kind of found me. Everything is through Carson. We want to give a shout out to Carson Dohan, the Malibu Strong Boy. Shout out to you.
The coin boy.
The Coin Boy.
Why do they give him the coin boy?
Coin boy?
Oh,
Why do they call him the coin boy?
He has his coin in his pocket and he flips it every time he needs to make a decision.
Oh, no shit. Like that, bro.
That's hardcore, bro.
He lives by the coin and he dies by the coin.
Respect.
That's his motto.
he's a man of the coin.
So you talk about the community, right?
Coin.
Thor?
Yes, sir.
You talk about the helping the community, right? And I know you're helping these young kids that have had problems with the law, right? And sometimes the deputies call you and say, "Hey, Thor, we can't handle this. Can you fix this since you're the manliest man in this whole county?"
Can you believe it? It's actually a true story.
It's a true story. It sounds crazy, right? But it's a true story. Talk about that, brother. How are you helping these young men that are really troubled? Because we know sheriff's departments, sometimes they don't have the time to help the community as much as they'd like and don't have the mindset or the skills for it. You got those skills.
It's a selfish thing. I want to say, I want to go back to a couple of things. So one, I want to go back to legacy, how I'm remembered. The time this time you have on earth is short, and your legacy is everything. And probably the greatest thing you can do is give back to the community and be a good friend.
Right.
To everybody that needs a friend. I want to say attitude of gratitude, something I learned from Chris. And, I had a charity going on for a while. It was the Mitts for Meals charity where, I was like, fuck, again, old money, new money, no money. And I was like, dude, how can a guy who fights for a living, doesn't make a whole lot of money. I was driving down the road one day and I saw a fucking what do they call it, billboard. And it had like this picture of this cute kid that looked hungry, and it said like $2.05 could feed a family. And I was like, damn, fuck, dude. If I was a millionaire, bro, I'd cash out on that one. I was like, I don't need money. I was like, fuck, dude, if I like held mitts and I said like, I'll do every round of mitt work for fucking $2. And then that money I could give to this charity, which is the San Fernando Rescue Mission.
Okay.
which I was working with, I was like, you know, I could maybe generate some money. So like one day I like fucking held mitts for like 10 hours at my gym, you know? And then that turned into something where like the next year it turned this whole mitt marathon where like more people were coming and then other people are holding mitts. And then like, boom, it turned into this thing I was doing fucking every year. And we're going to do it again this year at my own gym, Pugilist, you know? So that's how I kind of started getting involved in wanting to do things for the community. Actually doing things to the community was, you know, shout out to the Buckner family, instilling that attitude of gratitude, you know, because Chris is my coach. And I was like, fuck, dude, you know, like this is something that's a good thing to do. And anybody can give back. That what I'm trying to say is anybody can give back to the community. It's not something that like you see people do it and you're like, oh, that's a special person. Like anybody with two hands can give back to the community. So anyway, I kind of got this reputation for doing stuff like this. So the sheriff's department came by and like when he first walked in, I'm like, fuck, what did I do? You know? And then, shout out to Mike and Dylan, officers Mike and Dylan they came in and they're like, yeah, we got this kid. He's kind of a knucklehead and like, you know, it would help us out a lot. He's 13 years old. It would help us out a lot if like, we talked to him. We're like, bro, like you're going to fuck your life up. Yeah. You're in the process of doing it. Like, is there anything that you like that you want to do that you think you could? And he's like, oh, I like to box. So they're like, all right, you know, but kids that come from that kind of background, they only think as big as they can afford, I guess. I don't know a better way to put it. Like his mom works 3 jobs, you know, as you know, they have multiple kids and there's no father figure out there. I'm not going to say any names, you know, I don't want to, whatever, but, so anyway, this kid, give him free training at the gym, you know, give him some gear and stuff like that. And, I make him clean up a little bit and stuff just so he feels like he's giving back and he is giving back. But, it's been good so far.
So how many kids would you like to help out? Because you're helping these kids, right? And obviously they go through their ups and downs and they fuck up, they disappear. I'm sure a couple of these kids have disappeared. Do you have any stories about that?
Well, the same damn kid.
Why are you laughing like that, bro?
It's just like, bro, like this story it's just fresh. This shit just happened today. Yeah. So started training this kid and I thought it was going to be a lot easier than it is. But when you're in the gang lifestyle, you have a lot of bad influence around you. Yeah. And you're, you know, a 13-year-old kid, so you're not very smart and you're naive. So this kid was coming every day and he was doing good and his boxing was getting better. And then he just like disappeared one day for like, so I hit up the sheriff. I'm like, you know, where's this kid? What's up with him? He's like, oh, we're going to get back to you. Like 2 days later, they're like, yeah, he was involved in a gang fight and there was a stabbing.
He didn't do the stabbing.
No, he didn't. He was
just associated.
But he was associated. Yeah.
He got a little punch in with his boxing.
He did get a little punch in. So I was like, okay, so my thing too is like, I will say legacy, right? So everything I do isn't completely like, I'm doing it because I like to win. I'm a very competitive person, right? Correct. So when I say legacy, I want to have the best legacy. When I help people, I want to be the best at helping people. When I raise a kid up, I want him to be the best, right? So when I heard that this kid all I did was make a better gangbanger, basically, I felt like I took a giant L, right? I was pissed, you know? It's like, I don't want this fucking kid around me. Like, so the sheriffs, they brought him in and they're like, okay, well, just talk to him. So I looked at him. I said, what the fuck did you do? You know? And he's, you know, like, hey, you know, I'm sorry.
Did he come down on him hard?
Well, yeah, dude, kind of. I was looking at him and I said, I basically said, why the fuck do you think I'm helping you? And he was like, oh, cause you want me to do good. And I said, I don't fucking know you. You're a 13-year-old kid. I don't know you. I'm like, do you think I'm like one of these fucking people that like to hang out with little kids or something? I'm like, I got a wife, I got a dog, I got a bunch of friends, I got uncles and I got a bunch of people I can't even fucking see because I'm here dealing with your fucking shit. Why do you think I want to help you? And he just kind of looked at me and I'm like, because I'm fucking competitive. If you do good, I fucking do good. If you win, I win. Just like any of my fighters. If any of my fighters fucking do good, that's a win for me. A coach is the most like, I'm serving in a selfish way. The better I can help you, the better I'm fucking off. The better you do, the better I do. Yeah. And I looked at that kid, I'm like, that's it. I'm like, you know, it could be you, it could be another kid, 13 years old. You know, I'm like, do you want the opportunity or you want someone else to take it? Because I don't want you just here because fucking this is better than going to jail.
Yeah, of course.
And I think he started to get it.
What did he say to you?
Oh, coach, I'm not going to do it again. I don't want that lifestyle anymore. And, you know, we'll see. Right. And my hopes are high, you know.
This happened what, a week ago, 2 weeks ago?
Today.
What happened today?
Yeah, today I was just
Holy
dealing
shit.
with this kid's shit. Yeah.
What do you think he's going to do?
Fuck, dude.
I know you hope the best for him, but what do you think he's going to do?
I don't know, man. You know, he's a really good kid, and I could tell he has a good heart. And like, I'm a good judge of character. You know, I always say like God, one superpower I do have is God put excellent people in my life. And I could tell this is a good kid. You know, it just, he's got a bunch of lames around him.
Got a bad influence all around. Yeah,
Yeah.
that jacks up a lot of people no matter what.
Yeah. It's rough, man. You know? So I'm going to do the best I can, but realistically, like, you know, the old adage, you can lead a horse to water. I mean, can you make him drink? I mean, I'm going to fucking try, you know?
Yeah. Now, Dany, how about you? You talk about a couple of bad habits, right? How does Thor help you with these bad habits and keep you going? Because you're fighting for one of the best organizations, probably the best organization, obviously, down in Southern California, right? And you're in here. And when you showed up, they were all lovey-dovey with. They're like, oh, our boy Dany's here. We love this guy. You know, great fighter. Why does everyone respect you so much? And how has Thor influenced you in this lifestyle?
Well, one time I seshed before training, and then Thor beat my ass.
Oh shit!
So, you know, he hates that. He hates it a lot, and you know, he's a good guy. And my other coach, you know, I can tell like they both have had the same struggle with like wanting to do stuff they want to do, but they shouldn't do. And now they cleaned up their act, and they're good role models.
And I just want to throw in one thing real quick. Dany is a really good kid. He's like, I mean, he's looking for flaws in himself, but honestly, he's the most consistent one, training every single day. He's not that late either. He's saying, I think he's looking for things to talk about, but he's a person that I put in charge of my kids' class. Now, if you know how I am with my kids, I don't just trust them around anybody. Nobody. Those are my kids, you know? And he teaches the kids, and I don't think that the kids could learn from a better role model than Dany. Like, he's really a great role model and a awesome human being. And he's going to be a champion one day. 100%.
Thank you, Coach.
Absolutely.
How soon do you think you're going to be champion?
Probably in a few weeks.
Oh, you got to fight in a few weeks? October 21st?
Yeah, October 21st.
For a flyweight title.
Against Desmond Alvarado.
And how do you feel about that competition, about that matchup?
I like it.
You like it? Why?
Yes. It's going to be fun.
You're watching him on video, right? You're studying the guy.
Yes.
Okay.
He's a good grappler.
He's a good grappler. How about you? What's your strength?
Grappling.
Grappling also?
Yeah.
But you feel more confident than him?
Yes.
Why?
Because I can sprawl and brawl better.
Oh. Sprawl and brawl is big time, bro, especially in grappling, right? And so you see this guy that you're about to compete with. What are his strengths? And why do you think you're going to – what gaps do you see in his fighting skills?
I think he lacks power.
He lacks power.
Yes.
And you're fighting at 125, 135?
125.
125.
Yes.
Okay. And so when you see this guy, how confident are you? I mean, obviously every competitor when you get into a fight, right, you're very confident. But when you're watching him and see his fights, what gives you the edge in your mind? Because you're saying like, yeah, I got him. I'm going to beat him. Obviously, you got a fantastic coach here, Thor, not only physical, but also getting you right with the mental, right? Mm-hmm. What makes you so confident that you're going to beat this man on October 21st? What gaps do you see in his fight skills?
Well, I don't really want to give away in case he's listening, you know. He's going to work on that.
How about his strengths? What do you see as his strengths?
His strengths? That he's comfortable. He likes to fight. He wants to fight. Yes, and I want to fight. And I think that's what gives me an edge. I want to fight. I want to be in there. Mm-hmm. And to be honest, like at first I was kind of scared to fight him.
Okay, why?
Because he wins a lot.
Okay.
He's undefeated. I've never been undefeated. Uh-huh. That's really cool. That's what I want to be, you know? He's like some things I want to be. Okay. And, you know, he made it and I didn't. Okay. And, you know, like I started building him up in my head. And then the more I think about it, the more I want to fight him. The more I build him up.
The more you build them up.
Yes.
So you got the desire to give him an ass whooping. That's pretty what you want to do. Like, you got what I want, so I'm going to take it from you.
I got the desire to give him an opportunity to whoop my ass and then take it from him.
It's so diabolical.
Think about what he just said. Thor said it better than me, right? So this guy is undefeated. And my boy Dany right here says, okay, you're undefeated. And I see that when I first saw the matchup, I was slightly scared, which is normal for any man, right? You're entering a ring. Every fight that Thor fought, I'm sure you had some fear in you because this motherfucker's going to fight me.
Absolutely.
So it's normal, right? It's normal for you to be, okay, at first fight. Oh, fuck. Okay. And even in sparring, every time you spar, every person is like, oh, fuck, he's going to hit me. But it's normal. You still go in and you still fight. And your sparring sessions, you win some, you lose some. Right here also. But there's no doubt in your mind that you're going to win this fight because you're going to take everything that he has and you wanted. Now you're going to take it off from him. Imagine
now he's undefeated.
Exactly. Now he's undefeated. You're going to give him this first L. How good is that? How good is that going to feel?
That'd feel crazy. It'd feel right.
It feels right.
Yes.
Like this is your destiny.
Yes.
I like that about you.
Like if it happened, like
when it happens,
I feel like I'll be deserving it.
Like, why do you think that you're going to be deserving it? What have you done to earn this W? Earn this belt? Like, look behind you, bro. Look right behind you. There's a couple of belts right there. Imagine those belts hanging right around your shoulder, around your waist.
They're nice. They're nice. I want one.
You want one?
Yeah.
I like that.
I need one.
You need one.
My pants are falling.
He wants it. What's up, Chris? All about it.
No one's more deserving.
No one's more deserving, he says. So everyone's on your side.
That's my kid's jiu-jitsu coach. If you didn't know, now you know.
Now you know. What belt are you?
Purple.
Purple. That's a killer right there. You know that when someone receives a purple belt in the mixed martial arts world, you're one of the most feared fighters in the world. You got some crazy technique, crazy abilities.
That's a benchmark.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. I respect purple belts a lot. I respect blue belts too, but when you get to a level of purple belt, that's close to being a black belt. Like the brown belt's very quick, but then the black belt's like, oh. So what's your goal in mixed martial arts? You want to get that purple belt? You want to get how many belts? How far do you want to go in the mixed martial arts world?
All the way. I want to be UFC flyweight champion of the world. Maybe even bantamweight champion as well.
Dang.
But,
Champ.
who knows, At the end of the day, I don't really care about the belt and the money and all that material stuff. It really is all about legacy and what you leave behind you for your family and your friends and your kids.
How old are you?
24.
24. Young cat.
A lot of wisdom, though, for that.
Well, look who he's hanging with.
I learn a lot from this guy. This guy, like once a day, says something that I have to go write down, and I repeat it. I have so many one-liners from this guy that just like fucking changed my life. Crazy.
That's awesome. That's awesome. See, and that's the mixed martial arts world. Old, young, we all share each other's wisdom. We all want to live better. We all want to learn from each other. We all want to come up. Like even his opponent, right? He doesn't want to, well, maybe he wants to kill him the day of the fight, right? But you want the best from him after the fight. Just don't touch the belt, correct? But at the same time, in the mixed martial arts world, we all want to help each other. We all want to do good. Just our opponent, it's just what it is. It's a sport, right? What got you into mixed martial arts?
I guess my parents did when I was little, and they put me in a Taekwondo class.
And what kept you in? Because some your parents got you in.
Yes.
What kept you in? And what keeps the fire going that you want to get these belts?
Well, every fighter who fights, they have one thing in common. At one point in their life, not just every fighter who fights, everyone who trains, at one point in their life, they were in a situation where they had no control. And, there's a negative force that had to control the situation. And they didn't like that. And that's why they started training, so they could feel like they're in control.
Some people do this stuff over and over, do dumb shit, dumb mistakes, and don't learn. You at least learned and said, okay, I learned, and how is that not going to happen to me again? Here's my correction. I'm going to get stronger. And then what started happening after that? You just got back into wrestling.
Yeah, I became a better wrestler. You know, things started to click in wrestling. And then, but I was still very new at wrestling. It was my first year of wrestling, and it was in college.
Nice.
So, you know, my skill level wasn't exactly at the skill level of my competition. So after a couple more L's, I just stopped wrestling. And then I moved to Arizona to live with my aunt to focus on school.
Okay.
And, you know, I was doing school out there and playing video games and, you know, just chilling, being a normal kid. And then she thought I was playing too much video games. So she signed me up for a martial arts gym.
Nice.
It's called Fight Ready in Scottsdale. It's a very small gym. I don't know if you've heard of it, but my favorite fighter trains there.
I was about to say, there's probably, I think, Fight Ready. Is it Benson Henderson? What trains out of there?
No, I think that's the MMA lab.
Who trains out of there, your gym?
Henry Cejudo.
Henry Cejudo. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So you got some more wrestling.
Yes. And then, so I just started training wrestling, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, everything. And I stopped going to school. And my aunt was like, well, you can't live with me if you're not going to go to school. So I came back to California and I started training here. And, you know, I was
what year
like,
was that when you came back?
2019.
Okay.
So right before the pandemic. And then the pandemic hit and there wasn't anything to do except train, really.
You already found Thor at this time?
No.
Yeah, okay.
No, I just started training with Thor.
When did you get the jackpot to find Thor?
This year.
This year. Okay.
Yeah, so when I started training, fighting for Up Next, and I came for a media day, and Thor interviewed me. And that was my first time meeting him.
I had no idea.
He's like, he's asking me where I strike at, and I didn't have a striking gym. I only had my jiu-jitsu gym, Axie, with my head coach, Rodrigo. So he invited me to his gym, and I was like, bet, I'm down. Carson trains there. I'm always down to hang out with Carson.
Carson's a cool guy.
Who's Carson? He fights also or what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
His student, my teammate.
Okay.
He fought on the same card as me in our last fight.
Yeah, is he fighting for the belt too, or next time, or when is he up for the belt? Did he win?
Yeah.
Yeah, he won his fight with a knee bar submission in the first round. It was sick.
Okay.
He's undefeated.
Undefeated also. You got a bunch of good-ass fighters, Thor.
All my boys can scrap. Ain't no mismatches here, baby.
I like the way I just turns devilish when you say
Damn.
that. You see that look? Everyone do that again, bro. Do that again.
Ain't no mismatches here, baby.
Damn.
This man is special. You guys are all going to see.
I think it is beginning because, like, I don't know. I feel like every 6 months I'm like way further than I was 6 months ago. And it's like I've never experienced growth this rapid.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's because of all the time I spent training. Since 2019, I was like in any MMA gym like all day, every day. And it's finally starting to pay off.
Where does that desire come from? That's a desire that's born in you. Like Miggy says, it's a mustard seed. But to be in there all the time, why?
I learned it from my mom. She was always working every single day. You know, me and my brother, we were raised by her and only her. You know, she was a single mom. She was just never there, and I want it to be worth it for her.
Okay. You're living this dream also for your moms, right? And you're going to get paid off of this dream also, right? How confident are you having a man like Thor that's already been through the trenches? Because he's been through crazy trenches. I'm sure that Thor's got a lot more. So look at that. Look at that smirk.
Yeah.
How many other malls have you fought in?
Go ahead.
I fought in Indian casinos. I fought in malls, man.
Oh, you're holding out on the store? Fire away.
Oh, dude, Indian casino's great, brother. You know, yeah, coming out at 12 o'clock at night in 90-degree heat and fighting in a Indian casino, you know. But these are some of the places that fighting takes you. It's not always glamorous, you know. Sometimes you fight in some weird places, bro. I don't know. But, you know, like I'm glad I experienced all that, though. Like, I feel like some of the new kids, man, like back to Up Next, you know, the shows you guys put on, like, compared to some of the dumps I fought, like, I'm like, fuck, dude. He's like, these kids, like their first fight, they come out, there's fucking pyrotechnics and a fucking show. You got fucking Chad George, like, all right, we got the fucking parade, and then you guys are gonna fucking, it's like pride and fucking, you know, I remember like I was in a fucking tent with no AC and shit. Fuck, sauna room? And they come out with a wet ass pair of gloves that someone just got knocked out. And all right, here, you're gonna wear these? Jesus Christ, man. Damn. Dirty, bro. I'm glad I experienced it, but fuck, I wish I'm glad I got to fight for Bellator too. You know, that was like a Kiss concert. That was cool. But yeah, I've seen the best, I've seen the worst. And yeah, I love the sport, man. You know,
all the turns where it takes you, right? Like one of the places that I've heard of someone fight was at the cock ring.
Cock ring?
Where the cockfighting goes on?
Oh yeah.
I've heard of people fighting in those type of places, you know? And those are kind of amazing. What's the craziest place that you've ever fought?
Myself?
Yes.
Yeah, man, it was Costa Rica, bro. It was in the shopping mall, you know.
They're like donkeys walking around and shit. Like,
why does my boy always go to like the most perverted places? Talk about donkeys. You're talking about donkeys in Tijuana. Is that what you're thinking about, bro?
No, you're just talking about cock rings. What are you talking about?
Yeah, dude. You said cock ring. I was like, where is this going?
Is a cock ring like, is that like a club or somewhere in West Hollywood? Or what are we talking about here?
So it's you know where there's cockfighting, right?
Yeah, no. So I was in Thailand. I trained in Thailand a little bit, and a lot. I think it's pretty common, but the gym that I trained at, Sing Patong Sidnam Noi, had a fucking real cock ring, rooster ring, whatever you want to call it. And every Wednesday after training, like all these dudes would show up. Thais will bet on anything. Thais will bet on fucking Muay Thai, then they go bet on fucking two dogs fighting each other, then they'll bet on fucking everything, dude. You know,
like who can tie their shoe the fastest?
You name it. They're, you know, who finishes the cigarette faster. I'll bet on everything.
That's next level degenerate behavior right there.
It's the best. Like the first time I saw a fight in Thailand, I couldn't believe what I was watching. I was like, because like, you know, I'm used to like the Western experience of where you watch a fight and it's kind of like, organized. It's not disorganized over there, but what it is like the gamblers have such a sway in what's happening. Like, so you have like one side of the room and then you have another side of the room. And then like you have like the coach, like the corner man, but then there's like this dude who's in charge of the gamblers. So he'll be on one side of the stadium going, you know, throwing up fingers, and they're like throwing fingers back at him. And then he'll like literally like after the second round, he'll like run, he'll like push the fucking coach out of the way, and he'll just start yelling directly at the fighter. Like, I don't know what he's saying. He's saying like, we got this much money on you. You do this. And it's like, fuck, dude. Like, can you imagine in Vegas, like the head mafia guys, like, get out of the fucking way. Hey, we got fucking 60 racks. You know, Drake made a fucking bet on you. You know what I mean? Like, you can't, you know, but in Thailand, that's like no big deal, you know? And like, you just see, I don't know, you just see crazy shit over there. Like, it's like the gambling is pretty much like, Muay Thai is gambling. Like they don't give a fuck about the fighter. Like there's red corner and blue corner. The guy doesn't even have a name. Like they don't give a shit about it. They care about just gambling, man. Yeah.
Okay. So how much did you partake into this, in that culture on that side of it?
I love to gamble. I love to play like little parlays and sports bets, like especially on the, you know, I love to bet on UFC. But I didn't feel comfortable in Thailand because I don't know the language, you know what I mean? And it was just like, you know.
Maybe they're trying to scam you and shit.
Yeah. I had like the tourist experience where like, you know, I was with the guys from the camp, and they were like, oh, you get to sit in front because, you know, you got American money. So like, you know, sitting like ringside and stuff for like $40 or something. And like, so I didn't have that experience, but like, I think if I understood it more, I'm a degenerate when it comes. I love to gamble. So I definitely would. Yeah, I absolutely would. Yeah.
You're in there sweating with your dollars in the air. Like,
Kill him!
Yeah, that's the movie Bloodsport. That's like my favorite movie of all time.
Oh, yeah.
And I was always fascinated with that guy in the Kumite. He's taking bets, you know. So it's good to hear that that's a real thing.
Oh, it's a real thing. Yeah. Bloodsport was bullshit, but yes.
Still a good movie.
It's a great movie. It's one of the greatest movies of all time. But like,
you were talking about, before you change the subject on yourself, the talking about the cockfight ring outside.
Yeah.
Okay, Wednesdays.
So Wednesday, I don't know if it's just because it's Wednesday today, but I remember it was like one random day. I think it was Wednesday where fucking like I'd be like like after the evening class, like I'm coming out because like you have like in Thailand, there was like 2 training sessions, like each one was fucking 4 hours, you know, and it starts with like an insane run and then you train and then like you go home and chill for a little bit, or if you're one of the guys that just lives at the gym, you sleep on the floor and then boom, like you have your second 4-hour training session. But then I remember I was like, all these scooters just started rolling up, bzz, 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 and they go and then just gambling and they're betting on the Roosters.
Yeah,
I'll post a picture of it on my Instagram later if anybody wants to check it out.
That shit up.
Thor 818 at Instagram. You know.
Yeah, for sure. No, see, and when you talk about these old school fights, like I had a bunch of stories, and I'm looking at Cristobal because I was telling him some crazy stories also. But see, a lot of these fights, a lot of these stories that you lived are probably never going to be able to be reproduced.
Yeah.
You know, we did a podcast with my cousin from Mexico, right? And we talked about the old ways of how Mexico was and the way we were able to time travel as far as we lived in that area and now we're living in this era. Like when you talk about what you lived, that's like in certain ways, it's time traveling.
Oh, yeah.
Because what you lived is fucking amazing. These crazy stories you talk about Thailand and all this stuff. Who can do this again? Who can go to Costa Rica and battle in the mall again? Who can live in these? And everything is so regulated now that way that you live, those stories are fascinating. Right? How does it feel to be living in that era, live through all these experiences, and now see what these young men have with Up Next fighting?
I'm fucking envious, of course. I mean, I wouldn't trade my life for anything, you know. But man, I look at the opportunities and you know some of the media presence that these kids have like access to, like just social media in general. Yeah. Like you know, when I was a kid, like like MySpace came out, and I was like fucking in my late 20s or something like that, or like early 20s, you know, and like that was MySpace. And now you see like, bro, anybody can like grab their phone and be like, hey, I'm the sickest guy in the world. You're like, look at my life, you know, like you couldn't do that, you know, like really, like if you have a creative outlet or if you have an idea, it's really easy to like push that out there. And then of course, just the production, you know, that Up Next has and the way that Up Next is like kind of branding with you as a fighter, you know, they'll take your brand and they'll lift you up, give it a platform, you know, like if you don't have thousands of followers, well, fuck it, you have Up Next, you know, like, and they'll, you know, like that would have been cool to have that when I was that age. Like, I'm sure like this guy right here, Dany's a fucking character. He's like definitely going to be a star. And I think it's a lot because of when he fights, he says it himself. When he fights, what happens, Dany?
Everybody wins.
When he fights, the fans win.
I like to fight. You know, a lot of fighters don't like to fight, and it shows when they're fighting.
How do you characterize his style, Thor, as far as Dany's style?
It's controlled mayhem. So like he just goes out there and he does like wild shit. Like his last fight, they're like, what move are you gonna do? Do you have like a favorite move? And he goes, double hammer fist. And then fucking
the fuck is that?
Like
and he fucking did it. He did it in the fucking fight. I'm not lying. Like he did it. There's highlight of him fucking and his face is just like calm like a fucking Hindu cow. And he's just fucking bludgeoning this guy to death, you know what I mean? And like, but that's Dan. Like, there's nobody like this kid, man. You know what I mean? Like, he's a fucking star, you know. And like, and people are the more people watch this kid and get to know him, they're gonna be like, you know. And like back in my day, it was kind of, it would be hard to discover a talent like that, you know, but now you got like, you have Up Next, you got social media and like, you know, it's just a matter of time. And this kid, fuck dude, talk about mustard seed. That's just going to grow into a fucking mustard mountain.
How does it feel that your coach talks about you like this? Talk to us. Look at your little smirk on your face. You're so happy. Come on, let your coach know what you think about that.
Dude, it's awesome. I fucking love my coach.
Awesome.
Nice. You see, one of the beautiful things about mixed martial arts is you're able to make the connection with the sensei like this, with your coach, with the trainer, with a friend, with a brotherly man and a father figure at the same time, because that's what a sensei is. What do you think your job is with these young men, Thor? What is your job? Now that you're done fighting, now you're being a coach, a trainer, a mentor, manager, all these hats that you got to fill. How does that feel? I would say, Thor, I would kind of say it's a heavier responsibility just being a fighter, because fighter, you're just responsible for yourself. Give an ass whooping, take an ass whooping. But now you're in charge of all these young men, guiding them into the right position in life.
Yeah, guiding is, I think, the key word. I make sure that, I try to make sure they have the right, if there's a job that I can't do, then, I make sure there's a right coach there to help out, but, yeah, like I said, as a coach, like this is something I just had, an epiphany one day. I'm like, fuck, dude, this is like the one job where the better you do, the better I fucking do. Like we're completely like this, right? You know what I mean? Like most other jobs, like as a middleman, I'm trying to make fucking $5 off this and that. And, like I can sell this high and buy this low or whatever the fuck. But like, this is like a real job where I'm like, my success is based on your success. So like, it's, that's my fucking job is, I do what I can to make sure that these kids are successful, and it's, and it's not selfless. It's totally selfish, but it's selfish in a way that everybody fucking eats and everyone succeeds. If I said I'm always completely selfless, I just want these guys to do good. But if they do good, I do good. Their success really reflects good on me. And, so fucking let's be real with that.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this, brother. I think I see that when I first met you, I think I see that both of us have that equal because I like seeing, more importantly, my people, my friends, my family, my brothers around us, my brotherhood, like these are my brothers right here. We care about each other a lot, but I want to see them really, really win. Yeah. Like more than I want to see myself win.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think you got that same thing about you. You want to see your students win more than you win. Oh, you know? Because you can help them out in this way. And you like everyone around you winning and giving. You're a giver. That's really what you are, Thor.
Yeah, I mean, I fucking out, and I'd be lying if I didn't say it wasn't like the best high in the world seeing these guys fucking win. Like imagine like, I mean, I think we're all sports fans here, imagine watching your team win. Yeah. Now imagine watching your team win. You know what I'm saying? I'm all like, yeah, Raiders, you know what I mean? Like fucking my team, like, motherfucker, you ain't playing for them. You're not getting a ring when they get one. Correct. Like, this is my team. Like, when they win, it's like, fuck, dude. It's like, I'm like high for fucking days. It's like the best feeling.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And I'm also way more nervous for them than fucking before I fought myself, because anything can happen. And you really do have a vested interest in these kids. And, and when they lose, sometimes it's like the fucking lowest feeling. Right. But, it's a fucking amazing sport. I can't believe it.
The ups and downs, right?
Yeah.
So where do you see yourself, say, in 2 years, 5 years, and 10 years? Where do you see yourself, Thor?
Same fucking place. Pugilist Gym. It's on Moore Park and Jans Road in Thousand Oaks, California. Come see me.
Come see us. Come train with both of these men right here, superstar and superstar coach. Hit them up. We're going to line them up on Instagram. Everything you need from them if you're in the area. I strongly suggest you train with these type of men. Train with them how to fight and then pick up their mindset.
Where can we find you? Where can we find you before we sign off?
So besides the gym, I'm on Instagram. It's Thor818 at Instagram, and then also Pugilist Gym Instagram, and yeah.
And Dany.
Dany Labastida 14 on Instagram.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you, Up Next Fighting, for hosting us here. This is Old and New Money. We out. Well done, brother. Well done.